Hey guys, you're listening to the Mon Frere podcast. This is our first one for 2017. We were just having a look, and apparently 2016 was far more productive than 2015 because we only did one in 2015.
I think that's why we went YouTube heavy as well.
Yeah. Well,
Very
you can see back in 2014 we did, what was it, Fraz?
It was like 9.
Jesus, like
Good old
how
days.
many podcasts is it? That's like, it's not quite one a month, is it? But it's kind of like...
It's 12 months in a year, so we missed. But we did 2 in 1 month, and then we missed out 3 months, and then we did 1 in
I
September.
swear we used to do a podcast like every month.
Yeah, well, needless to
Well,
say...
to be fair, it actually says here, we also do a podcast every month called the Mon Frere Podcast. It says it in every YouTube description. If I go to the YouTube description, right, it says still.
That's pure bullshit, right?
We are Mon Frere Game. We release gaming videos 2 to 3 times a week. No, not maybe.
No.
We are live streaming at least 18 hours a week from the big pile of shit over there.
No.
Well, actually, this week we have because I did a 24-hour.
You
So
nerd.
that counts. That
Fucking
and a
nerd.
podcast every
Nerd!
month. But we don't do any of those.
Yeah,
Well,
like at a certain point, it just kind of got to be like, we'll just do it whenever we want.
yeah, well, needless to say, in 2014 we spent a lot of time in your conservatory. And I think it's given us like permanent health problems.
We're back in here.
Like there's fucking like there's black mold on your blinds. Frazer, this like kills people.
It's on his pillows though that's the worrying thing.
It's on
Like,
your
you put
pillow.
your head there.
No, that's why whatever girl is round, they sleep over at that
Are
side.
the pillows there to cover the black mold? So, like,
No.
to hide it from like guests and things, so they don't see
Yeah, you
how,
just
like,
replace the blind.
how infected your
It's
conservatory
not mold.
is.
It is.
Other than that, it
Spilled
seems
chocolate.
fairly quite...
It's not
fairly
bullshit.
nice,
That's
Yeah,
still
it's-
chocolate.
it's
That's
still
like
ch-
disgusting black mold.
It's disgusting.
Anyway, Dean, you've just been here without saying hello.
Hello.
You haven't been in a video or podcast since the one that was terribly audioed when we.
Yeah,
went
I
to
should
Vegas.
probably say actually. So I'm James. I'm here with Dean and Frazer, and I have to introduce ourselves because me and Dean haven't really made much of an appearance on the YouTube.
Yeah, we've kind of been like media blackout for the past year.
Yeah, we
Oh, no, it's funny because fucking what was it? I was on the live stream the other day, and I was speaking about this, and people were just asking who's James and Dean. I'm not even shitting you. People ask who the hell James and Dean are. Everyone asks, and I'm like,
Yeah, I can imagine.
God damn it,
most
look
of
at the
original
description.
people have probably gone.
Nobody knows
Yeah.
who James and Dean is. No, there is. There's a few because I see the random comments come up. Like there was a comment on one of the YouTube videos saying I miss the good old days of Daisy and Civ.
Yeah,
The dog.
they were the good old.
I miss the good old days.
Yeah, that's it. I'm dead nostalgic for the good old days. But
Like, I just don't really like have the time to kind of do it. Well, I do have the time, but like with Holly there, like I can't be like recording a video and then she just walks in and she's like, I want to watch Power.
I want to watch Power.
in a minute, Holly.
Yeah, like I'm recording a video. Like I can't imagine that situation would go down very well.
Well, if you have a look at the YouTube, it seems that Fraser's just been recording an awful lot of Gmod and CS:GO, and to be honest, me and Dean just let him get to it. Just.
It's not like it's done anything bad considering it's actually taken our YouTube off now.
I know, it's your community
It's a bit
in
annoying,
Gmod,
really.
isn't it?
You know, it's kind of actually taken off. You say it's community, only a small part is community. Like my community is only like fucking 40 people. That's 1,000 there, you know.
You need to expand it though. I mean, like,
So it's getting there. It's getting there. It's all getting there in the end.
we also realised that putting a pair of tits in the thumbnail dramatically increases the number of
What?
views.
That was one
Where's
video.
this? Is this the booby stream?
Yeah, it was.
So I did the
Yeah,
booby stream
I can
CS:GO
imagine
rounds.
it did increase the views.
Where
quite
was
a
it?
lot.
Where was it?
There
it
we
was-
go. Look, compare that to the
Wait, hang on. Go on most popular videos.
Frazer created a series called Frazer's Rants, and in one episode he complained about booby streams, and he got like what 7,000
Yeah.
views.
It's,
That's
And then
a lot.
a week later he complained about Smurfs, and scroll up, let's see how many views that got.
oh well, I'm just going to the other one.
All right, okay.
Smurf's got like
It is nothing.
70.
Oh my god.
70 compared to.
I know on
Joe Daddy got 600. I think that's it.
Where is it?
Yeah, I know on Vlog Brothers, you know John Green's like other channel from Crash Course.
He got 69.
And
69
their most
views.
popular videos on that channel are all ones that feature like giraffe sex.
What the fuck?
For some reason. Like, inexplicably, like, giraffe sex is what people are searching on YouTube for what.
The
Like,
fuck?
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's fair to say.
Bastards.
It's fair to say, like, ever since we've been doing YouTube, which was like, it's been 4 years. I think the first. Let's go to the oldest video. I think it's like 4 years of the channel. You know, we've taken off a lot more since then. You know, when we did our 1,000 sub special like 2 years ago. Now we're on 6,000 with like over 1,000 followers on Twitch and all that shit. Let's have a look. Yeah, so it was 3 years ago our first video.
Yeah, it's all your
we got
1,000
subscribers 3 years ago, and then it was just.
Well, we got a dramatic increase thanks to the Civ 5 mods.
Yeah.
Look at that, Dean. Black Ship. That was my solo project. 23,000 views.
That lies the king.
Yeah, it is. Like, as a solo project, done on Movie Maker as well. So, you know,
Yeah.
Plus, you can hear you typing and like humming in the background, so it's not even like the quality of the video is particularly great.
Well, I've been doing Gary's one. When it officially took off was obviously when I first did my Star Wars RP series, which was a year ago. Pretty much exactly.
I think that
which was
might
around
be because
15,000.
it's just Star Wars, and a lot of people are searching Star Wars, maybe.
Possibly the RP is.
Well, no, it was the way how I structured it. Most people that did Gary's mod videos didn't do them serious. They did them as trolling videos when we were going to troll. These were organised as serious
I know
videos.
Max Mofo did.
So people enjoy the seriousness of it, because that's why they go and play it. I did do a trailer that said there's going to be 10 episodes in season 2, and we got to episode 2. We got to episode 4. Sorry.
That's a respectable amount.
I got to episode 4, and then I said, basically what I've done is, with this update video, I've said it's a clean slate. I said, Road to DMG is over, because I'm now global.
I was like, yeah, we've advanced quite a bit since the last episode.
Road to DMG is now over, because I'm global. The Star Wars RP series is ended. Fucking First Impressions is most likely ended. Because obviously I'm going to just do normal game reviews. So I'm just doing normal Gary's mod videos. The only thing that's carried across from like the old times was CSGO funny moments with you the other day.
Yeah, that's true. That was good.
Everything else like
that was a good. Yeah, I actually enjoyed watching.
Yeah,
it.
I thought it was.
I was kind of watching it. I was like, yeah, like if this was on someone else's YouTube channel, this wouldn't exactly be out of place.
Yeah.
But maybe it was because it was James, because this other one did as well, and it was just as funny. To be fair.
Yeah.
I think even like things like this though, like I did a Gmod movie that was an hour and 4 minutes. Now you think a video that's an hour and 4 minutes, yeah, wouldn't get
like YouTube Red money.
That would no, but that you think an hour a Gmod movie that's an hour and 4 minutes wouldn't get many views. Yet it gets like 2,690 views, and I have people like messaging me saying like, "Oh, I watched it to the end." Like, let's have a look at the comments.
I watched it to the end. Who has the time to watch this?
So this video is so good. This is grade A amazing. What
Maybe a
movie
little
is
bit.
it? No, these are the comments. What movie is this on? The movie is so good. Never stop doing videos. This is so good. The name's Hank. Keep up the good work. Much story. This is amazing.
Is this podcast going to be like one big advertisement?
Subscribe to Mon Frere Gaming. No, it's just sort of saying how we've changed, because the last time we did a podcast was, well, I wouldn't class the one in the car as the last time we did a podcast. That was more me ninja recording, us talking in the car.
Yeah, about some filthy things.
The last proper one was
don't watch that podcast.
February 2016.
Or listen to it. I want to say watch, but it doesn't make any
Is
sense.
that like
You don't.
subliminal?
Well, no, you do watch it because we're on YouTube.
Maybe like watch our YouTube and listen to our podcast. If
No,
I say it the other way around, listen to our YouTube and watch our podcast. Maybe people think, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. I'll go visit their YouTube and see what's up.
Anyway, we'll YouTube stuff aside, things have changed, but we'll come back to do the podcast. What are we going to say for the quantity of these? Like,
What do you mean, the quantity?
yeah, like, and how many we're going to do? Like, what's
Podcasts.
yeah?
Oof.
I don't know.
Like,
This is a bit out of the blue to me.
I guess we could
I
do.
thought I'd ask you live. It'd be a good little conversation.
Is this an honest? This is
Like-
blindsided. I feel like this is like a bombshell in an interview. Just like
Well,
this interview's over. I don't know. This is-
realistically, for us, should we say this is going to be the only one this year, and we'll see you all next year?
I mean, we could definitely do one during summer.
Well,
I'd
we
say.
talked
Oh, summer. That's
Well, we talked about like maybe like recording some kind of like miniature video whilst we were in Amsterdam, weren't we? Just
well,
sort of
yeah.
like
I'm blogging that way.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I'm taking that camera with me. Then.
I mean, maybe that doesn't count, but.
No, that won't be a podcast, James, because you'll be watching stuff as we've just
Oh
discovered.
right, yeah, watching as opposed.
Oh
to
no, we'll stick with our monthly thing that we've always stuck by, and it's
Do you think
always
we'll
true
manage
as well.
monthly though? I just don't think that'll happen.
We have, for the past 4 years, it said monthly.
I've got exams coming up as well.
We're gonna do monthly.
Like these exams count this year.
We can speak to each other for an hour, like a month. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but Are we really that entertaining? I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, we can...
So what's up with you? Well, for the last 3 months, I've been working. How about you?
Right. Anyway, should we move on from that? We'll say about a month. We'll say about a month. James, I would like to turn this question to you. Mass Effect. I want your actual thoughts on it because this can lead on to the video I'm doing. And I want your thoughts on it.
Well,
because people will hear my thoughts in my review, so I think
have no spoilers, please.
all right, no spoilers for Dean.
No spoilers for Dean.
I've not played it for anyone listening.
It's really good. It's really enjoyable. It's maybe not quite as captivating as like the first 3 Mass Effects. It's not captivating in the sense that you feel like I'm playing like Crusader Kings with you now, Dean, and I'm like I don't feel compelled to try and finish this Andromeda story, which is a bit.
I felt the same way about Halo Wars 2. I've still not actually finished that yet.
To be fair, I've tanked the Mass Effect. I've played so much of it, and then it's literally I'm on pretty much nearly the final missions, and I just don't have the commitment to play. I don't know why. I've done everything. It's like I've not got any boring shit to do.
Maybe we're just growing up. And like we just don't really care as much about games anymore.
No, that's not true because Crusader Kings.
Crusader. Yeah, maybe it's like the story.
I mean, I go around fucking walking around as Darth Vader, four-stroking people and guys.
Yeah, Dean's RPing the shit out of like Gene.
No, I think maybe like I don't know, big open world games aren't very captivating anymore. Maybe.
No, I think they are, but I don't think Andromeda does it particularly well. I think the problem is like a lot of the open world stuff in France, I don't know if you noticed, is a bit empty.
I'd say yeah, I'd definitely agree with you, empty. But I also feel that's like the glory of it as well. I feel like the emptiness makes it seem like you are exploring these new worlds.
But the graphics and the animations don't hold up to make you feel like...
Like, people complain about graphics, fair enough.
You've got it on the PC, so it's slightly different.
I have such a different view to like most people that complain are playing at an Xbox, playing as the default female character that looks like she's from.
Why has everyone played the female character? Like, because I've actually not seen anyone.
Because she's the one who looks the most special, so they play as a female character, so they can do these videos going, Mass Effect's so shitty, look, the animation is so shit. It's because you're choosing the default female character that looks like she's generally like
retarded.
Yeah, retarded. Whereas if you make my male character looks amazing, and I have actually grown on him. The banter he has with me and the crew, I love it. Like we're attacking some ship, and he's just saying banterish things, and I'm like actually laughing.
Yeah,
I'm actually enjoying it.
I do have to say this: the character is less of a robot than Shepard. He's a bit less sort of, like how Shepard was a bit robotic at times.
I mean, yeah,
pretty much. Okay.
Yeah, he's a bit less than that. Like your character actually feels like he's got a little bit. He cracks out jokes and things. He's like quite. You can be quite relaxed, or vice versa, depending on what kind of like. There's a lot more kind of speech options in that sense as well. You can kind of like pick.
Before I give you the advanced warning of this, you can have sex or romance anyone, and I mean anyone.
I've heard something about that.
I mean anyone. You want to fuck a Torian, Dean? You can fuck a Torian.
How do you fuck it? I've always wondered this.
We were discussing. Me and Frazer were discussing.
I've always wondered, like, how would you fuck like Garrus or something?
Because they look quite hard.
Yeah, exactly. They look like rocks.
Yeah. They've got like an exoskeleton.
The weird thing is, it's a female Torian that's on your ship. So you can only run as a male.
Aren't all Taurians male or something?
No,
you're thinking of Asarians. Like
they're all
like
female.
Yeah, they're all kind of like a neutral.
Well, they're not female, they're neutral.
Yeah,
okay? They just have boobs and have female voices, but they're not female. They're completely different. By the way, the nudity in this Mass Effect as well is actually.
Oh, here we go.
It's let me just.
Fraser's best part of the game.
Are we talking PG here? Or are we talking?
But before you look at that though, what would you say in terms of like, is this a good starting point for another series, for like another 2 games?
Well, it's definitely good. Like 100% would.
Like, would you buy the next game based off of this?
The Galaxy is actually like really decent.
Well, do you feel compelled that you'd probably want to finish the story?
So I'll put this into the video on the podcast. But for the people on iTunes, obviously we can't say it on YouTube. I can put the video in on YouTube, but for the podcast, we need to explain what's going on. So right now there is a blue Asari character speaking to a female. This is
very evil.
She is very evil. The facial characters aren't the best in Mass Effect. But you do get the full nipples. But you didn't get those in the other ones.
Okay.
You didn't get them in the other ones. Like,
Faces priorities here. Oh, yeah, there's a nipple.
yeah.
That does not look like a very good picture.
No, that's just how it is in Mass Effect. Like,
Well, this is what we're saying, Dean, the animation.
the animation's like, that's the female character. The female character in Mass Effect looks like she's generally...
She looks like a person in Gary's mod or something.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I agree with
actually,
that. I agree
Yeah,
because
but-
people in Gary's mod actually generally look like...
like that.
Yeah, no, I agree with
I
that.
think the character models in Mass Effect 3 were better, you know.
Yeah, I
they
agree
were
with
a
that.
lot like so.
No,
clean
did
and
you
cut.
read that thing I sent you? It was explaining how they basically did the facial animations for
Oh,
this
it
one
was
and how
one
they
big
did
algorithm, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
apparently
Yeah.
it was an algorithm. Yeah, that's the thing they've been
Like the
saying.
guy explained it in
Yeah.
like a tweet.
But why did
Yeah,
why
no, I
was
saw
that
that
not
video
the
as well.
case for Mass Effect 3? You know.
Now, Mass Effect 3 apparently they used set scenes for it, which also made it look a bit robotic at the same
Well,
time.
I think in Mass Effect 3 and stuff, I think because they only had 3 options to talk at most points,
Yeah.
they didn't really need to.
If you remember, with
There
most of the
wasn't
Mass
as many-
Effects,
I don't know why they didn't just
In
keep
the-
this for this though.
in
Like,
the
keep
original-
Renegade and Paragon maybe.
because people were complaining always about that.
Yeah, it was too binary.
It's better in
You
this
just
one.
ended up always picking like the.
If
Yeah,
you
but
if
you could be badass or like good. It was actually quite awesome, really. You could
Yeah, but
shoot
like,
someone in
it,
the
it,
face.
it left
or...
no wiggle room for like being in the middle.
If you remember though, in the
Mm.
in the original trilogy, if you say anything, no matter how, if you're a Paragon or Renegade, the way you said it, it would always come back to the same type of conversation.
Yeah, it would.
Like they maybe say one line that related to how you spoke, and it would just be the same conversation. Whereas with this, it actually doesn't.
It still was
actually
quite
different.
good from like a role playing perspective, though, wasn't it? I mean, it is an RPG, and you were, taking upon a role, and it didn't take you out of it necessarily. It didn't feel like you were like having limited conversations and things.
Yeah.
Well, in answer to your question, yeah, this definitely leads better on to other Mass Effects. Like, I think I will, when I end up finishing it, I won't come away from it saying that was a waste of money. And I won't say it was a waste of time, because it actually was an enjoyable
The
game.
multiplayer looks good. It looks like Mass Effect 3, but kind of. Well,
Yeah, that's what they've done.
I mean, Mass
No,
Effect.
no,
I really
no.
enjoyed the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, to be honest.
Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that.
Like, we all played that so much.
I mean, when I eventually do my review video on it, I think the main thing I'll be bringing across is it isn't as bad as people make out. There are bugs and glitches with it, but it's as bad as buggy and glitchy as Skyrim or any other game that you've experienced on
Yeah, I
launch.
think buying it in a while might be a good idea, which is what I'm going to do.
I feel like the hate on it at the moment is a little bit faddy, a little bit sort of like.
like it's cool.
No,
yeah, a
but-
bit hyped. A
No,
bit
people
sort of
are
like
doing
all
it to get the
YouTubers-
views.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
getting it to get the views.
Exactly.
Every YouTuber
All the
I have
YouTubers
seen,
have kind of like jumped on
Yeah.
the bandwagon with it.
every YouTuber I've seen do videos on it, about Disney animations, but there's 3 things wrong that they do that is the same in every type of hate on Mass Effect. They're on a console, which is not I'm saying they should make sure the console looks good, but they can only go so far. So they're on a console, so they're saying the graphics are shit and everything when it isn't, because PC.
It's weird how the console versions of this are the buggy ones.
Yeah, but you want to see
okay.
it on PC. PC graphics are amazing. Then the next one, they choose the default female character, which we just saw. She looks generally like she doesn't belong anywhere,
Yeah,
and
she looks
how
quite special.
she speaks. The female voice actor
Yeah.
is terrible for the default one as well. Those are the 3 things. They never choose a male. The male voice actor is amazing. He's better than Mark Meer. I love Mark
He's
Meer
not
as
me.
the person who did Commander Shepherd.
Yeah.
He's
No,
probably
the
better.
male rider in this is actually really quite good. I do like him.
Yeah,
I
he's
think.
decent.
Yeah.
One of the other comments is, "Oh, there's no famous people in it," because obviously we had
It's
like,
got fucking Natalie Dormer in it.
yeah, well, apparently because there's like you don't have Martin Sheen like you did, then you had like Seth Green as Joker, you had Garrus who's actually like an actor in real life. The like
Why? What did he do?
who's in Pacific TV series. Yeah, I was watching it the other day and Garrus was in it. So kind of
I just don't think he had the reputation that the
Mm.
original Mass Effect did, and I think it, as a result, maybe it just didn't.
I think
think
there was a certain degree of hype with this because this is the 4th game in the series, and so people's expectations from
Pretty
Mass
high.
Effect 1
They didn't see
are
it as a
lot
solo
higher
game.
now.
They should have seen it. If it just viewed that Mass Effect Andromeda as a solo game, it would have got
Like coming off like such an amazing series.
That's the thing, you
it's
need
got
to
a lot
view it
live
as a
up
solo
to.
game.
It
It's
had
completely
way too
different.
much to live up to.
Because
And also, like,
you-
it's got much bigger of a budget now, and
But they can't do much of
it's
it
obviously
story wise. Like, what are you going to
game
do? You've
20
Reapers
something.
are the most unstoppable force, and you've already defeated them. There's nowhere else you can go.
Well, they've
So-
done pretty.
So they
that's
played
not a lot
smartly,
of
and they
things.
decided to have this. But the main thing I'll speak to James about,
I was
right?
going to say, don't ruin the story.
Right, basically, in Mass Effect, the end of Mass Effect 2 is when this starts. The Andromeda Initiative is formed after Mass Effect 2.
yeah.
Okay, so that's when you you'll leave the galaxy to go set up a new world. Pisses me off because in Mass Effect 3, for the entire game, you preach about you're the last hope, you're saving humanity. If you don't do it, everyone's going to die. It's like complete bullshit because they're in another bloody galaxy doing fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they only sent like 20,000 people.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a gambit. Like 600 years later in another galaxy is a bit of a gambit.
Everyone's going to be dead in that galaxy.
No, but it just kind of takes it away. It still takes it away because you do feel you play Mass Effect 3 thinking this is it. Like there is no hope at all after this. Well, there still is hope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you do feel that maybe a little.
Well, I mean, no hope for the people left in the galaxy, I guess.
I don't know. It's still kind of
there's hope for the people like millions of light years away.
Good things in that game though is the you do feel a sense of purpose. The side quests are a lot more push worthy for like.
Yeah,
I always want to go on the planet and I'll just do all the side quests on the planet. I'll do all the side quests and then I can colonize the planet and settle our people on there. That's always enjoyable to do because then you just feeling like you.
I've heard it adds to like the story. No, isn't the story? No, like the main kind of purpose in the story.
I don't know yet. I've been told
people that you can then use in.
This is what I mean. I've been told about all this. I've got nearly to the end.
You had the war score thing from
I haven't experienced any of that yet. I'm not sure when it's going to hit me. I'm afraid that I've not done enough and I'm going to get to this point and I'm going to have like my ship and like two other ships fighting and just going to be
in Mass Effect 2 where you had to upgrade your ship otherwise
otherwise everyone
I haven't upgraded hardly anything. There's so much things you can research. But how researching works and development is pretty... yeah,
that's not great, actually.
It's really hard to do. It's kind of like...
not ideal.
You have the mining system, instead of... I don't know why they've done it. Mining, you now have to actually go on the planet.
Yeah, I've heard you have to scan and scan and scan.
You have to go on the planet in your vehicle, search around for a mining zone on the planet. Not even you can't land anywhere and mine. You have to find for a mining zone. Then you have to go to that mining zone and then mine. And then you just bring down drones rather than just hold down LT for scan, fire off the probe, and you're done.
Yeah, it's not great. I don't like the researching thing actually because I you know what, I've played through the whole game so far and I've used literally one gun and it's the Carnifex pistol.
That's what I use. I use the Carnifex pistol and the sniper. I picked
You get it straight away.
All I used is a Carnifex pistol, right?
And I remember that from Mass Effect 3.
Because it's awesome.
It's a powerful pistol. It's a powerful pistol. And then after that, I picked up just a random sniper rifle for granted and I attached that and I started using that. And the only other assault rifle I have is the Avenger. I have this is my loadout. I've nearly finished the game. This is my loadout. The Predator, which is the default pistol, Carnifex, the one sniper I have, and an assault rifle. I don't have a shotgun. I don't have any of the different assault rifles. That's it. Because researching
shooting has never really been that important.
No, but
more about your abilities.
You tank out research, right? You go for a full research, and once you find the research, this thing you want to research, it's not done because you have to then find the fucking materials to develop that shit.
Yeah, so
you have to go.
I think you could just go onto the Citadel and whatever it is now and just buy most.
No, most of the weapons and things you have to
literally gone. Literally, there's hardly anything to choose from.
There are some. You go to a shop, they might have like one gun.
I've heard you could buy the old N7 armor, not like the good one.
I don't know about the.
I don't know about the N7. I haven't seen N7.
It's a pain in the arse.
One of them.
I'm having to research
there's
right
one
now.
N7 armor you can get, and the other, like the good one from I think it was maybe the earlier Mass Effect. I don't know. One of them you can buy, one of them you have to make, and the one that you have to make is very difficult.
Yeah.
Well, everything needs Omnigel as well, and you can't fucking find it. You have to buy it from like on the ship marketplace, and you can only buy like 20 at a time or something.
Something that is quite interesting though, you loot pretty much you loot a lot. You loot a lot of dead characters, and you collect all this junk like you would in an MMO, and then you sell that garbage for credits, which is kind of like a useful thing. One main bonus I will give that game though is the ship. When you like fly, you basically how your ship looks. You have like this observation deck, and you can see the planet you arrived on. So once you fly to that planet, you sort of observe it. You can see it from orbit, and you can see it all around. Like you can go into your, your cabin and look up towards it.
Is it kind of like in
It's like in Star Wars Old Republic. It's like that.
It does make you feel like a pioneer. It is pretty good.
This is the worst part of it. There are animations to do everything in Mass Effect. So you want to land on a planet, Dean, you have to wait for a 30-second unskippable animation. You want to take off from that planet because it's the wrong planet you've gone to, you have to wait another 30 seconds for that animation and you can't skip. And then you want to leave the system and go to a different planet, you have to do another 20-second animation that you can't skip.
Do you remember on Mass Effect?
I bet there's a mod to take out.
There is so many animations to go from planet to galaxy to then go into like Citadel. There's like
Mass
2
Effect
minutes
3.
of animations.
Do you remember
can't
Mass
skip
Effect 3 or Mass Effect 2 where you go into a solar system and you want it to move to that planet, you just
Yeah.
click on it and your ship goes shoo.
Yeah,
And then you
know
can
how
literally
move
move around the solar system.
Yeah.
No, like Frazer says, you're on one planet and then you want to go to like the other one and see if there's anything in, just to scan it, just to get like the 100% in like the galaxy. So you honestly another fucking 30-second animation where the ship goes.
So
To
literally,
get to that planet.
how the animations work is you're on the planet, you take off, that's a 30-second animation just to go into orbit. Then when you're in orbit, to leave it to the system, that's another 30-second animation. Then to go to another planet, that's another 30-second animation. Then to land on that planet, that's another 30-second animation. Then you've already clicked the wrong fucking planet accidentally, so you have to leave that for another 30. It's just...
Yeah, it
You
is.
spend so long on unskippable animations. Don't get me wrong, the animations are beautiful because it shows your ship proper taking off and flying into orbit.
Yeah, I can
They
imagine
look really
for a
good.
while,
But when you see it 5 fucking times in a row,
It's
you're
like the Fable
Yeah.
cut screens, you know, like the cutscene. You know, like when they're on Fable, the loading screens and things like that. It's a bit like that, where
Yeah.
it's like a loading
Yeah,
screen
when you
every now
first
and
see
again.
those, it's like those cutscenes. It's like a Skyrim or Fallout. You see the cutscenes, like the loading screens, and you look at them and you think, oh, these are really cool. You proper like them for the first
Yeah.
half an hour because they look really cool. You're learning all this lore.
I need to
Then
get
after it,
sick
you're
of
looking at the same fucking Skyrim how you've seen the fast 5 times. Like, yes,
Oh, no, there's a mod.
You're like, come on, like
Yeah.
smashing the.
Well,
I know about the Daedric Prince. Come on, you've shown me this 5 times
There's
now.
a mod on Skyrim that you can. I think it's called like Open Cities or something, and there's no cutscenes when you go in cities anymore. And it's literally just like a gate you open.
Thing is, you can't really mod this because it's on Origin. Origin, I don't think it's a mod support. If I'm correct.
Well, there isn't anything on there for normal doors and
Then
stuff.
what are you gonna
I
do for
think
the console
maybe they
people?
might have, like for the cities they did it individually. But yeah.
It was so bad. It's really like.
I don't want to there's a lot of like extra support side quests and things, particularly like the Nexus and things.
Yeah.
And I just think can't be arsed flying to the Nexus. I don't want to have to like leave
I
the
feel
solar
like,
system.
honestly, when I get Mass Effect, I'm probably just going to end up spending most of my time in the multiplayer.
No, but the thing is,
Because that's basically what I did in Mass Effect.
we had the mistake of we played Mass Effect when it was Mass Effect 2 was out, so at least you felt some of the repercussions of your decisions. You felt the impacts of some of your decisions you made in Mass Effect 1. But anyone that probably would have played Mass Effect 1 maybe have gone through the same things we've gone, because when you play Mass Effect Andromeda right now, you're making all these decisions that maybe have lasting consequences. They even say in their loading screen this will have lasting consequences and stuff.
Oh, like a bloody Telltale.
But the thing is,
it's like she will remember this.
But the thing is, like, you won't be able to see it for a while. So you're still really unsure how that impacts. So you do this decision. It's a really big decision, and you're made to choose between these two people. You pick that one side, and the other side hates you. And then that's it. And that's it for the game. You don't really have any more conflict between those two sides. But you don't know until the further game, and we don't know.
It is like the Mass Effect 1 of
You
the
don't know
two
which one's
series.
right and wrong. Whereas you know in Mass Effect 1, you know if you don't have Rex with you and he dies, you're fucked for the rest of the games because you have Erdnot Reeve, who pretty much fucks everything up. Yeah, no, that's the truth. You don't have Rex, you're fucked.
Yeah.
But people who play Mass Effect 1, maybe hated Rex and like, fuck off Rex, you can't tell me what to do. Shot him.
You can't tell me what to do, you piece of shit.
Seriously, that's how it is. We don't know these repercussions until the further games, so we're kind of unlucky.
Is that
in
not a
aspect.
good thing though?
I think yes and no. It's kind of like I feel like I'm gonna have such a shit like Mass Effect Andromeda 2 or 3. I'm gonna.
You could just replay it and.
Yeah, but then that's the point. It takes away
Although,
your first
like
experience.
at the start of the next one, you could, because I know in Mass Effect 3 and stuff, they gave you like option, like you could. You could
replay the entire story, but then what's the point of playing the
no,
first
not
one?
like replay the story. Like you could pick the major options or something at the start.
Yeah,
of
but
the
that's
game.
only if you're creating a character. If you bring in a saved character, you can never do that. That was the whole point of it. Going back to that Telltale thing, the people don't understand with Telltale is more of a story. It's like an episode.
Yeah.
You help decide how the episode looks. You don't really make big decisions that have
Change the
lasting
outcome of
consequences. Yeah, you make tiny consequences. That's about it. I think a lot of people misinterpret Telltale games at times.
I
for
will
one
remember
enjoy
that.
I will remember that. That was good meme. Anyway, moving on from Mass Effect Andromeda, I think we've got to the grips of it. It's kind of like an okay.
Yeah, I think we've covered the games part of this podcast.
Yeah, we've covered the games part of this
Back
gaming
to Frazer's
channel.
mold.
Although I would like to say I did manage to get Holly into the Game of Thrones game
Right,
Really?
briefly. We played the first 2 episodes, I think.
Well, let's. Dean has a girlfriend for a start, okay?
Oh yeah, I don't think we covered this since like.
No, we haven't
2006.
ever
No,
covered this.
because we did it in the car. We must have done that.
No, like because that wasn't really like a podcast. That was more of us talking about just pure bollocks
True.
whilst we were driving. Like, oh, there's this mountain on our left, viewers. It's really big.
Oh, it's so big.
It's just like, that was
That's
us.
what she said.
Yeah, you have a girlfriend. Dean has a girlfriend.
Dean has a girlfriend. Frazer doesn't.
I don't know why you brought that up. Like, what the fuck? Gotta get hashtag bring back Emily in chat
R.I.P.
now.
years.
Fucking hashtag bring back Emily is gonna be brought back in chat now. Did I tell you that?
Who's
No,
Emily?
actually, that Emily was that very big. Oh, I don't really want to talk about lies.
I mean, that just says everything, doesn't it?
Basically, someone who I didn't really want to date, and she was on.
Mason had a very similar
Right.
thing.
Yeah, I was on a date with her. Anyway, we did a 24-hour live stream 2 days ago. That went really well. If plug the Twitch, you know, if you haven't followed us on Twitch, follow us on Twitch. Anyway, fucking. We had 60 viewers at one point, 60 viewers and 60 tries, right? We were like the most streamed person on Gary's Mod, like the top. Go to Gary's Mod and we were the top. And basically, my online friends, managed to drop the ball about Millie and all that shit that was going on.
Millie?
Emily.
Oh, okay.
Right. Dropped all that shit.
Portly one.
Of all the dates I've been on and stuff with Courtney and Laura. So first things people started asking is how many girlfriends you actually had? You're stored this and that. Then
You sat there like sweating it out on Gmail. Oh, Frazer, you stud.
Right? Kent moderators and puts hashtag bring back Emily. And then, well, the
R.I.P. Emily.
the chat comes in an uproar after that. It's just hashtag bring back Emily.
Twitch chat.
It's just hashtag bring back Emily for like
That's
2
like the
minutes.
epitome of like internet memes on Twitch.
I couldn't get them to stop. I had to go. I'm gonna ban
It's like the
anyone
whole
that
like
says
bring
it.
back Brad's wife thing.
Yeah, well, that was hilarious. Yeah.
Oh, like Harambe. Like you can just imagine like a load of people on Twitch started that.
I fucking love like when the zoo tries to sort of like when it was like posting pictures of like giraffes and things. It's like this is our animal for the week, and everyone in the comments are just kind of like Harambe would have been the week when you shot him.
I remember they had to shut down the Twitter account to get in Harambe.
Harambe took this far, guys. That Gary's Mod, there was something called Harambe RP. And basically, it's 2 sides. You've got the zookeepers and you've got the gorillas, and it's just an RDM fest of attacking each other. Gorillas running around, people killing gorillas. That's what the server is. That's someone actually paid cost like £40 to host a server for that. Just for gorillas to run around you killing other people as gorillas.
I think the thing that makes it so funny, like just general like internety things, is just how arbitrary it all is. Like just like this. Like one completely random thing that someone is committed to, like it just makes it funny.
Yeah, it really does. I was gonna say, yeah, obviously coming back to the whole Brad's wife thing, it's just like one guy's had a rant,
yeah,
and like everyone's just kind of like, oh, this will be hilarious.
It's just the internet, isn't it? Like once the internet catches on something, it like they become victims. Like that Joe, if you remember, I did that CS:GO rant and Joe Daddy. Joe Daddy was that person who did that. He left his live stream on and he started abusing his girlfriend on live stream, and obviously everyone took it all personally, and literally every YouTuber, obviously including us, every YouTuber just attacked him, including us. And
smelled blood and they all went in for the kill.
We all went in. I went in for the kill. We all did. And it's like just one of those. It's like I don't know. We all like a load of piranhas. Just like swimming.
YouTubers are like piranhas.
We all like piranhas, and a little blood is dripping up. We'll all go for it. All of us YouTubers will go for it. You know, if there's something wrong with Mass Effect and Andromeda, there's memes being made, everyone will go for it. If there's like something, if they got Donald Trump, everyone go for that. It's like this thing where everyone goes to that one thing, so that you can all get their own little piece of it and show it to the world.
Yeah, well, the internet is a little bit scary when like you look at like the US elections and you see like people actually putting votes for Harambe, like they actually wrote in Harambe.
It was that vote. Do you remember the thing about the ship? People were there was this online poll.
Oh, Boaty McBoat.
So people that maybe have been living under a rock for this entire year, there was a vote.
Or not, or just outside the UK.
Oh, basically it was this vote where...
No, I think people in America...
Yeah, everyone could vote. It was just on the internet.
Okay, cool.
So they put up a vote. This new boat they'd made, didn't know what to call it, so they put a vote up on the internet.
It's
because
like a research boat.
You know that's the best thing to do. It's a research boat. We don't know what to name it. Let's have the internet decide for us. So the top one became, what was it, Dean?
Boaty McBoatface.
That was the top one. The second one was like fucking... It was like some swear word. Like it was like... It was just a really...
Don't make fuck off.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Fuck
And
nuggets.
there weren't any serious answers in this. And it makes me think, you know when we were troubled? Because people always ask, the main question on this
We're
channel...
always troubled.
No,
if you're wondering, listeners.
People have always asked in the channel, it's always in our description as well, like, why are we called Mon Frere? Or why are we not
It's like the
friends?
same thing.
Like, everyone asks it. People even ask it today. I go on my...
Perfect example of it.
That is actually a perfect analogy.
We go back to fucking... I go on Gary's mod as Mon Frere Gaming, or I'll be Clone Trooper Mon Frere, and people think I'm French when I'm really just a YouTuber, but I get called
Merci
French.
beaucoup.
And it's like, I could
Fuck off,
go...
you wanker.
I could go on a French server, and basically, what I don't know if you know, on Gary's mod French servers, if you go on there as British and you speak
hate
English, they'll ban you because you're not French. Well, they can come on our server, and we can't ban that anyway. Going off that, if I went on there as Mon Frere, people would think right. It's like, it makes me think. 3.5 years ago when we were deciding Mon Frere's name, we couldn't decide it. This is why we had Mon Frere in the first place, because Dean just went, why don't we just say Mon Frere? We're like, alright, can't think of anything better. And that became our channel. This makes me think, if we put a vote on online, could you imagine what our channel name would be called? Like, we put like a vote up what the name would be.
The misspelled mercenaries.
Oh, it would be so bad if we just let the internet decide like a YouTube name. Could you imagine like some of the profanity that would come out of it? Just
some of the profanity, it would just be disgraceful.
it would be really bad.
You wouldn't be able to show those videos to your grandmother, that's for sure.
Just to clarify,
Oh,
we
actually,
aren't French. We aren't French.
On the Boaty McBoatface thing, they actually there was actually like a smaller little vessel on the Sir David Attenborough or whatever they ended up calling it, and they actually did call that Boaty McBoatface.
Yeah, it was like the little, what was it, like a probe or something?
Yeah, it was like a probe or something, and they did actually call it that. Oh, there was another one actually. I think it was like a Chinese zoo or something. They had a new gorilla that was going to be born.
Oh, for God's sake!
I
can already tell where this is going. I know where this is going.
Like, give us a name, and like the whole internet obviously just went ham on them. They were just like, it obviously needs to be Harambe.
Harambe Mark 2, Harambe Reborn.
Yeah, I mean those were basically the suggestions.
Like, you can imagine, like the top list of suggestions were like Harambe Mark 2, Harambe the Reborn,
Yeah, like,
Harambe
it's
the Undying, Harambe. You know, like you go in Medieval and Crusader Kings, your character has like the name. Like my character at the moment has where King whatever the Wise. Like this is what it'd be. It'd just be Harambe the Wise, Harambe the Dead. Oh.
Call every single character in Crusader Kings Harambe.
Harambe the Third.
Because I've noticed actually, if you rename a character, then sometimes your descendants can automatically get that name. Because
they will. If
I put Dean, sometimes I'll get like Dean the Second.
Yeah, I've had nephews like automatically like call their like sons and daughters, sons like James.
Yeah,
because
it's quite good. Though.
I've already had a Bjorn. I had a Bjorn 2, and then I had Ragnar.
So, I imagine it's because like places like France just used to have.
In fact, Ragnar was the one who started rebelling against me. He wasn't even part of my family. Ragnar was just an earl that was my vassal, and he began rebelling against me. I was like, "Is this Vikings? This is what's happening?" I took him out easy.
Aren't earls basically just barons in Crusader Kings?
No, I don't know because I've only really tapped out the Viking
not
side.
dukes. Oh, no.
Whatever they are, he controlled like the land and had obviously the settled land. Anyway, not going over Crusader Kings because I'm not sure anyone.
Oh! Can we talk about Brexit? Because that's a polarising conversation.
Because Mon Frere podcast has always been known for being very political.
It has.
When it comes to discussions.
It has.
That's what I'm saying.
Discussions.
Let's go back to those old discussions. How about those Christians, James? What do you?
I was
those Christians.
What about like the general election?
He's flipped on this a little
Yeah,
bit.
well, James, you want to maybe clarify. So this way, if anyone ever
was that in this
in Mon Frere podcast, it was a Mon Frere podcast. Let me find it. I'll find it. So you just carry on talking, James. What do you think of Christians nowadays?
Podcast.
No, I'll be playing. I'll be finding it. I know the name because it was a political debate name.
Yeah, well, no, it was a discuss about religion and its retardation. But generally,
and its retardation.
I think I've just become a little bit more accepting of my fellow man. I still think that organised religion is a complete disgrace, and it's just.
It was podcast 14.
Podcast 14.
Yes.
When was that? 2000 what?
14.
How old was that?
So, in case someone does catch up on this and look through the old podcast,
so in case I become a politician and
I think you should clarify right now that you don't hate Christians and you want them all to die.
I don't think I ever said that.
You
did. You did.
You did. You did.
I don't know if you said you hate all Christians.
No, he said his words were all Christians should die. That was his words, because that's when I started going mental at the end of the podcast.
Well, that's paraphrasing.
Right, just clarify.
Sure the circumstances were.
No, they weren't. They were just you going ham on Christians.
I was, and it's just because I don't know. It's just organised religion as a concept, isn't it? It's just.
You gotta just clarify now. Just say it for like. So it's there, it's quoted.
It's
that
really
James
just
doesn't hate Christians.
It's just idiots confessing their ignorance, really. At the end of the
Say
day.
you don't hate Christians.
I don't hate people.
Don't say you don't hate Christians and you don't.
I don't know. I think that's
No, because I hate Christianity. I don't hate people.
Okay, there you go. Right, that's the best
Tom's
you can.
Christian.
Who's Tom?
You know the short guy at uni.
Yeah, I mean, people are people.
He's
like,
very Christian. His
Bye.
dad's a priest.
People are
You okay, bye.
people. Are people.
Alright.
What time mark do I need to remember to edit that part out of?
That's not getting it.
Here it is. I'm gonna remember the time mark. 39 minutes. You gotta remember 39 minutes.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Anyway.
I mean, people are people, aren't they? I mean, like, there's all kinds of like disgusting people on the face of this earth.
Would Christians be counted as one? James?
Most of them live in Blackpool, to be honest with you.
Oh, don't start with this. You can't ever get anywhere in life if people are going to look back on this and go, James hated Christians, James hated people in Blackpool, James hated this, James hated
Yeah,
that.
I'm not being the MP for Blackpool, am I?
I mean, maybe you should be. Maybe you can make it a better place.
I just carpet bomb it.
You just can't pick
I
on
fucking
it.
steamroll.
You're now talking about committing murder again.
For
For
the
fuck's
Ministry of
sake,
Defence
if
to
you
bomb
ever
Blackpool.
if you ever commit murder and the police look through this, they're going to see that you.
All I'm talking about, and look,
They were
maybe,
looking at, right, okay, is she from Blackpool?
maybe if I hijacked a plane and like fucking.
So you know you're talking about hijacking planes. You're talking about hijacking planes and crashing into Blackpool.
No, I was gonna say bombing. Blackpool.
People can take this out of context, James. Someone could literally just take those 20 seconds out, send it to the police saying this guy just said he wants to do, he's got to blow Blackpool Tower.
Well, it's alright.
Probably got you on some sort of list already.
It probably is. No Mon Frere conspirator.
Well, I'm not really a known extremist, so I think I probably.
Well,
You did
not
say,
yet.
yeah. You haven't done anything. You have said a few
Yeah,
questionable
but
things.
every logical.
James, let me ask you this: what was the most hate we got on one video? It was a Civ video. Yeah,
I think I
it was a Civ and Melts video. And what did you say in that? We were
I think
Arabia.
I think I called.
We were Arabia
I
doing
think
the
I
Civ
called a
mods.
certain ethnic group terrorist.
Yeah, right. So this was it. It's not even related to the mod. We're showing off a mod, and we happened to choose Arabia. So we could have chosen any country, but for some reason we chose Arabia. I regret choosing Arabia just for this exact reason.
I thought it was.
We chose
hilarious.
Arabia. We're showing off this mod, and he goes, "Fucking terrorists." I mean, then everyone in the comments, "Oh, you're cool with being a
This is like the
terrorist."
whole PewDiePie thing.
Oh yeah, we've been being
How
Hitler.
everyone seems to think he's like some sort of neo-Nazi
Yeah.
because he says
Basically
some
Hitler
some questionable jokes.
Yeah.
It's like saying I'm a Nazi. I've played like Gary's Mod RP. Like,
Sure, he said some jokes in some poor taste, but he's not a Nazi. Like,
I think
he's
personally that
just
people
stupid.
just sort of like need to lighten up a little
Yeah.
bit, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has their views. I mean, for God's sake, like most religious people like think that they can dictate like the way people can love each other. You know, like you've got like homosexuals in America that get oppressed by the Christian majority. So.
Oh, yeah, no,
Quite
no,
frankly, the fact that I have these views is no different to them. So maybe I'm not, I'm not better than them. Certainly, maybe I'm just as bad. But
yeah,
I
probably.
think it's just a human reaction, to be honest, to other people and thoughts and opinions that are different to yours. Naturally, you're going to disagree. So.
Well, Hitler did nothing wrong then. We'll go with that.
What?
Hashtag Hitler did nothing wrong.
Hashtag Hitler was innocent. Guys, I think we should be careful. We
Yeah.
are like approaching the
It's
realms
like,
of.
see, maybe when we first started Mon Frere, when we were only hitting about 100 views, but now we're hitting actually like a wide majority. We
And
need to
now,
be careful
now we're
what we
fairly
say.
old as well. Like we can be held accountable for this.
We're old. We're, actually,
Yeah.
we're old. We
I was
actually,
only like 16 at the time. Like,
when we first started, we were
16
only
was
getting
all
a
kinds of
few
shit.
Yeah.
views and listens. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered, but now we're actually getting quite a considerable amount of views and known like people watching. That's kind of like you don't want to really come across as neo-Nazis. We're not Nazis.
Well, it's very different to call somebody an idiot to then want to lock them up, starve them to death. So I think
Like
there is.
What? What are we on about?
You look.
What type of analogies did you just do? Like,
No, because you're talking about Hitler, and you're talking about obviously
Oh,
his actions and things. And
Yeah.
I say me saying that I don't approve of organised religion and religious
no,
people.
I don't necessarily.
It's
like
very different. It's very different
Yeah,
to
then
call
actually doing
somebody an idiot
yeah.
to locking them up and starving them to death.
Yeah,
that's
I agree.
very.
There
There
is.
is. there is a very bloody big line that you've crossed there, really.
Shall we change the subject to Brexit, which was the original point of this conversation?
Hey, you were the one that wanted to bring up religion.
Well, it's just because like every political conversation turns into something to do with religion.
I know. Look, I know a lot of like religious people. I just don't discuss it with them because I know it's in the same way.
I try to avoid it as much as possible.
Well, that's why you don't discuss politics with people generally, because you know if you suddenly discover that they're a Tory bastard, then
I've discovered that most people
we don't hate Tories. If you're a Tory and you're listening, you're
well.
I mean,
Actually,
in this country,
I think most Tories
stop
are
it. Just stop it.
In this country, it's getting harder and harder to blame people for voting Tory when you've got people like Jeremy Corbyn. That
admittedly, most of our politicians, the alternative is idiotic, really, isn't it?
Yeah, like he's
You
just
just
like,
have to be neutral.
he just keeps doing things that like he's just like saying like put a cap on wages. Like no, stop this.
No, that is.
Going back to
I want to be elected.
Let's go to Brexit. Brexit. Explain Brexit, James. Please give the.
I don't think anybody needs Brexit explaining, really.
Well, you know what I mean. Just give a short abbreviation of Brexit of how much of a fuck up it was.
It is. Well, it is really the definition of a fuck up. But basically, the disillusioned in this country, which make up ourselves, to be honest. Not necessarily that we vote for Brexit. Obviously, we're young, so we didn't. Generally, the older and disillusioned portions of the English society, because it was.
You have to be careful wording this.
It was England.
It wasn't Scotland.
It was England that voted for Brexit, and that was it.
Was it even Wales?
Probably not.
I don't think they. I'm not sure actually.
I don't think it was because
sure
Wales
about
were talking about
majority in
independence as well because Scotland wanted.
Wales are never fucking getting out. Like Ireland and Scotland, they're fair game, but like Wales, like no.
I don't think Scotland is as fair game as Wales. They're just on opposite sides.
They've got their own parliament. They've got their own sovereignty.
Yeah.
Well, they have been given their own parliament, but you got to understand that Scotland can't function as a country.
Scotland are very proud to be Scottish, and politically they're very different.
They can still be proud to be Scottish, but the fundamentals of a country they do not possess because they possess our stuff.
I think you've got to recognise the fact that how politically different they are.
No, they are politically. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the fundamentals of the country, the core fundamentals, police, the armed forces, the economy. That is all from us.
India didn't necessarily have that, but
well, India. This was in a different time when that didn't matter as much. Where
sure it did. That was in like the 40s and 50s. That. Yeah,
but it didn't as matter as it was tonight. Today, it's actually like. It's fundamental for like trade to be able to go into Scotland and immediately just cross the border to do your trade up there for whatever reason without having to cross a borderline. Yeah, without having to worry about different currency, different police, different armed forces. Where would they get the different police force? Where would they get the different armed forces? Where would they get the different supplies? Well, they wouldn't be able to. What are they going to use from it?
The people.
Yeah, other than the people.
The people that are already in the police force.
Other than the police, they're not going to be able to like keep the things that already belong to this country. This is what I'm trying to explain to you.
Look, as far as I'm concerned,
no, they just answer to different powers.
Look, if Scotland have all of the nuclear submarines, like based,
they have the power.
I think they have some severe leverage.
No, they have the oil.
No, Scotland have the base for them. But if you remember, going back to like
when Scottish nationalists on board, like hijack the.
Apparently, actually, they did find a load more oil in. Where was it? Was it the?
It was the basis for their economic argument, though.
No, I mean, recently they found a load more oil in some sort of sea around it. Was it the Irish Sea or something?
I don't know.
Either way, Brexit caused Scotland to want Brexit hashtag. They want referendum #2.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So, going back to what I was explaining, I mean, generally speaking, it's the disillusioned North all over again. It's a government in Westminster that doesn't represent most of the country because they spend all the money in London.
The funniest thing I saw come out of Brexit was a petition that came out asking for the North to secede from England. It was like everywhere north of basically like Chester was to like secede into Scotland, and then it said like at the end of the petition, so when Scotland becomes its own sovereign nation, we will join Scotland.
I wouldn't mind doing that.
I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind.
It would be quite interesting as well.
I just think we are quite different to like. You go to London, it's a different country.
It's very different.
It's a different country.
But we got to also remember
London should be its own city.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. London is just a thing. We go to other places.
We discussed this.
You go to
got
Plymouth.
a bigger population than the Republic of Ireland.
You go to Plymouth. You go to Cornwall. Those places aren't too far from us. Too far-fetched in terms of how it is in terms of
Cornwall want independence,
Yeah.
You know about this? You know about anything about Cornwall?
I think we should go back to the Brexit conversation before we forget.
All right. Well, I mean, generally, it was the disillusion voting against what
The
they saw was
status
like
quo.
it was voting against the status quo, which you see all the time. You see all the time in political
Plus,
votes. People
the Daily Mail has been ragging on the EU ever since the EU was created and we joined it, and like they're always saying like, oh, the EU has banned certain types of bananas,
straight
or whatever.
bananas.
Yeah.
People actually believe this.
Yeah, and like that's the most read newspaper in this country. Like, they have a lot of influence.
Unfortunately, a lot of people are idiots and believe everything.
Like,
they
you
read
see
in
these
the Daily
things over
Mail.
30 years.
Are we attacking the Daily Mail?
Please corroborate your facts, alright? If you read something in the Daily Mail, look it up and corroborate it.
No.
With not another news article. Don't look it up and like say, oh, another newspaper, The Sun has said it as well. That must make it true.
See,
You know,
right,
that's the
just the
second
people
most
that don't
read
live in the
newspaper.
UK, the Daily Mail and the Sun are like basically
they're
just.
not really journalists.
They're more than people that you know. You
Daily
see the
Mail is
retarded
the
tweets. You
US.
see people will tweet something. It's
The Daily
complete
Mail is
bullshit.
basically Fox.
Yeah, it is. It's also very hypocritical. You know,
No, actually, right. I don't know if you knew this, right? But in the 1930s, the people who owned the Daily Mail were actually friends with Hitler and Mussolini,
really?
and they were
Actually,
posting like a lot of like.
So not only is Mon Frere
Nazi
attacking
kind of
Daily
stuff.
Mail, we're now claiming they had ties to Hitler and
I don't
Mussolini.
think-
Oh no,
This
they
is-
actually no, like they went to parties and shit together.
I-
But like, no, because then like they have like
When
Jewish.
they're both
They had
together.
Jewish investors or something, and then they were like, right, okay, stop this fucking shit, stop posting Nazi shit, and then they were like, right, okay then, and then they just started posting a load of anti-Jewish shit, like anti-Jewish like refugee
Rather than
shit during the
pro-Nazi
war.
stuff.
Yeah,
Great. Absolutely
like that's
fantastic.
literally, and like, oh no, the worst thing I saw recently, it was like they found like a gay gene or something, like basically that like.
Well, they say it's linked to genetics.
Yeah, like something like some gene that was linked to
Gay?
linked to
It
homosexuality.
would make
And
sense.
the way they phrased it, like this discovery, in the Daily Mail, this was in like 1998 or something. They said like new gene gives hope for abortions or something.
Oh, Jesus.
Basically saying that like people with
Gay
gay
people
children
should
would
die.
want to abort
Yeah.
their children.
Bloody hell.
Going back to Brexit, the Daily
Also,
Mail.
can I just say that the Daily Mail is registered in Bermuda, so it doesn't actually pay any UK corporation tax. So I'm just going to throw that one in there. So every time you people are ragging on about Google and Amazon paying their fucking taxes, Daily Mail doesn't. So, you know, stop reading that fucking newspaper.
Anyway,
It's not really
Daily Mail are bad. Okay, we all know that. Daily Mail are bad, and they helped.
They had a massive media influence in this country,
Yeah,
though. They
which caused us
honestly-
to leave
They're the
EU.
most political newspaper, really, aren't they? I mean,
Yeah.
the BBC is politically neutral, or at least it tries to be.
It does a fairly good job at times, unless it's involving the BBC. Like if you saw stuff
Yeah,
with
It's a
Jeremy.
bit, it's a bit
Yeah.
weird
Yeah,
when
it's
it
not-
Well,
really
when it
is.
involves the BBC, such as Jeremy Clarkson, it's very. You read that and you're there like, I'm pretty sure he wasn't like that, and you're just trying to do that because you know your show is now shit.
Let's
and-
face it is a little bit liberal leaning, but I mean that's just because our government and our society is now. You know, the Daily Mail is the most politically charged. Even the Guardian, which is obviously left wing, is somewhat less politically charged. Than
Isn't the Guardian meant to be a Tory newspaper?
No, the Guardian's Labour.
Oh, it's blue.
But that basically they influence
I've always
idiots
thought, like,
who
because
are
it's
the
blue.
older generation and plus Blackpool. So you have Blackpool, basically, you know, your average Joe who lives in a dustbin thinking he's, you know.
Absolutely slating Blackpool again.
Oh no, the worst thing I saw in
If any of
Lancaster
you
was-
listeners live in Blackpool, you should get out. That's
Basically, so the
That's our advice.
influence
Official Mon Frere
Blackpool,
guidelines.
which is where we live, influenced Blackpool, which are full idiots, to leave the EU, then influenced the older generation into thinking that we could. What's the main thing that was from Brexit on the bus? It was that. What was it?
350 million.
Let's give
for the
350 million to the NHS.
Yeah,
Are
so
you seriously thinking the Tories, the UKIP party, who most UKIP MPs would want to
Yeah,
completely
Tory.
privatise the NHS, I might add.
I don't
You
know
think
how
they're
that's
seriously
so
going
They
to
basically
That's
advertised on buses saying 350.
Because
I
that's
think
a
everyone's
legitimate
seen
promise.
this,
Yeah.
350 million pounds will go to the NHS if we leave the EU because that is what we're paying the EU or something.
Like, that's the
And what
thing
did it
that-
turn out to be? And then he was asked in an interview, Mr.
Oh, yeah, Nigel Farage, obviously.
I never said that.
He just
I
completely
never said that.
avoided the question.
I never
Yeah,
said
it's
that.
okay,
What are you about?
well, I'm not a politician, so honestly,
His
that
main-
promise has absolutely no basis.
His
It's
main
like,
thing was
great.
him saying he didn't say that, and it's like it was on your bus. That was the main thing that Piers Morgan kept bringing up with him. It's quite an interview because I hate Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan.
I hate Piers Morgan,
yeah.
but he was like
Like,
interviewing.
in that show, he
Piers.
was like,
I was
He's
like,
actually alright.
yeah, I was like, I like you, Piers Morgan, at this moment in time, but you're
calling out, someone. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like I say, it's the disillusioned votes against the status quo. It's the London bubble again. It's
they voted to remain now.
Exactly. Everyone in London, the politicians, Jeremy Corbyn, David Cameron, things, they didn't really kind of understand the scope of the problem, how much the rest of the country was suffering, really.
That's true.
From, Tory austerity, basically.
Yeah.
And it's these cuts in our budgets and things, and then you've got, powerful newspapers like the Daily Mail blaming all kinds of crazy shit on the EU. And immigrants, basically. Obviously, the immigration argument is very strong. Obviously, because whenever the government invites refugees and things into this country,
20,000,
doesn't house
which is nothing.
But it doesn't house them in
It's
London.
like the size of a small village.
It doesn't house immigrants and things in London. What happens is you get all these sort of
We'll send them off to Burnley or Blackpool.
Well, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So the poor areas. So basically, you've got people with nothing being moved into council areas in the poorest areas of the country, which means they can't make anything for themselves, and it can't be blamed when people of that background and things end up involved in crimes and things, and then as soon as one black Asian man whatever is caught with his hand in the cookie jar, has stabbed somebody or something.
Oh no! Tell you what, I do.
Hashtag removes refugees. It's like the thing with Muslims, isn't it? One Muslim kills all the people. Oh, the religion.
Yeah, the entire population.
I don't know how people can
responsible.
hate Indians and stuff that come over here, because I fucking love
I love that.
No, when they're working in a garage or whatever, and I need to get petrol, they're always so nice to me.
Yeah, they always have conversations.
He's always up for a conversation.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, right, buddy. How you doing, buddy?" All this kind of thing. I'm like,
and they do this. They do this. I've had conversations with these type of employees at 3 o'clock in the morning. You compare that to you British white male. He's there. What? You are.
When he's off his shift, he'll mug you on your way back to the car.
It's always this funny quote, isn't it? It's like, yes, Jolene, fucking Mohammed from India with a degree in doctor is definitely stealing your job right now. Yeah, and she's obviously a bum who's on council benefits and all this.
I was going to say,
he's definitely stealing your job when he has a degree in, fucking being a doctor.
The immigrants are simultaneously stealing our jobs and our benefits. So, which is it? I don't know. I mean, I know, because they're talking about jobs they give to immigrants as fruit pickers and things like that. And I think
what person in their right mind in this country is going to want to be a fruit picker?
I've got 13.
Does that even pay minimum wage?
I was going to say I've got people come out of school, even if they had 5 GCSEs, it's you can get a job better than an apple picker or something. Come on,
you don't have to fruit pick for
you can work at McDonald's for less. I get £7 an hour there.
I don't see why those kind of jobs are relevant in this kind of argument.
I know we've got A-levels and stuff, but
they're stealing our jobs.
there's people in there that
they're stealing our jobs, they're stealing our houses, they're stealing our benefits.
Regardless, it's mostly because the economy is in a bit of a shit way anyway. And like you say, it's a vote against the status quo in the London bubble. But the result of it is an even worse economy. A dropping pound. Did you see the Daily Mail? Oh, I'm just going back to the Daily Mail, but they had this article on the pound.
Next Daily Mail's headline: Mon Frere gaming attacks us. No, he'll say this will be the Daily Mail headline. No Mon Frere host James Spann hates Christians and wants to kill him. That'll be the Daily Mail.
Oh no, that's the Wall Street Journal.
That's the Wall Street Journal. Yeah. No, it would be outrage in the Daily Mail. It would be outrage.
Outrage as James Spann Freckleton.
Okay. Well, you might give my postcode away whilst you're at it, guys.
I've already given mine away. It looks like a genius to work it out.
I was going to say,
we're going to have old jury at our windows.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure we quoted Frazer's address in one of the YouTube videos. So.
We quoted that a lot.
Yeah.
We've done too many YouTube videos for them to find.
That's the end of part 1 of the podcast. Please stay tuned for next week, where part 2 will be made live. Be sure to watch it on iTunes down below. Links are all there. Or you can obviously enjoy it on YouTube, whichever. Goodbye. Nigel Farage for the win. Well.